Hello, art students. This is Mrs. Smythe, the art teacher from Machen Elementary. I'm going to provide you a lesson on how to make a landscape with patterns on them. What you will need for this project is a pencil with an eraser. You will need a black crayon, and you will need some type of paper. Size is really not that important, but sometimes the bigger the better. So if you have something about this size or larger, that'd be great. What we're going to do is start off with our pencil and draw a landscape first. We're going to keep it pretty simple, but I want to start with drawing a set of 3 hills. I'm going to start on the left side of the paper and draw a curved line from the middle of this left side down to the bottom of my paper. I apologize, I do not know how to flip these things around, so I'm just going to draw and then hold it up for you. There is one of my hills. Now you can pause this video if you wish and draw along with me and then start playing it again. Our second hill is going to start on the opposite side of the paper and curve over and touch, not at the bottom, but a little ways up, our first hill. And again, it's going to be a curved line also. Do you see the 2 hills now? Our next step is to draw a curved line between the 2 and create a third hill which will appear off into the distance. So we don't need to make it very tall or even as tall as the others. So right now we have our land and our sky. And that's what a landscape is all about. You can have all kinds of things on here, and even in our sky, but it's still a picture that's mostly land and sky. Next, we're going to draw 3 trees. We're going to start with the tree trunks. I'm going to put 2 trees on my first hill, 2 tree trunks, and 1 on my second hill. Now, when you draw them, be sure to draw your rectangles for your tree trunks down on the hill. Don't draw them on the top of the hill. Start the bottom of the rectangles or tree trunks lower. So I'm going to go ahead and draw those real quick for you. There's my 2 on my first hill, and then I'm going to put another one over here. There are my 3 tree trunks. Now we're going to put tops on them. You can put the same top on all 3, or you can put 3 different tops to show 3 different types of trees. For the sake of our drawing, I'm going to do 3 what I call curly tops, and you'll see in a moment what I'm talking about. If it runs off the edge of your paper, that's okay. Make them large. Don't make little itty-bitty tops. Make them large tops. Now, if you'll notice, some of my lines are crossing over each other, or what is called overlapping. We don't want those in the picture, so that's where our little eraser comes in. What I'm going to do is erase the hill line that's in my tree trunks, only in my tree trunks, not between them, only the ones that cross through my tree trunks first. So let me go ahead and quickly do that. There, I just did this first one. See how I erased the line? Now I'm going to erase the line here and these two. Don't worry if you can't erase them very well, because we're going to go back and fill them in with patterns very shortly. Okay, so I've erased that hill line through those trees and erased it through this tree. Now, I've got two trees that their foliage or leaves are in front of each other, so I need to erase one of the lines, either this one or this one, to show only one of them. So I'm going to go inside the littler one, the one that's lower on the page, and erase the inside lines of it. Now this one looks in front of this one, doesn't it? It's called overlapping. Now I am going to put a cloud in my sky. Just do a big fluffy cloud. Don't do anything itty bitty. For those of you who know me, know that I do not like anything itty bitty. It's so much easier to color when they're big. I'm going to add one more detail to our drawing, and that's down here. I'm going to do just a little fluffy bush shape. And it's just kind of like a half a circle, but with little curved lines. Like so. So it looks like there's a bush right down here in the front. Okay, that's the end of the drawing part, other than we are going to now take our black crayon and trace over all our pencil lines. And I'm not going to do all of them. If we make a mistake like I just did, we're just going to keep going and pretend that mistake is not there. I'm just going to do part of it for you. You can refer back to my image in the instructions page. See how I'm covering up all my lines with black crayon. When it's finished with the black crayon, it will look like this. Now, here comes the fun part. Every one of these areas, this bush, this hill, the tree trunks, the tree tops, every one of the hills, even the cloud, and our sky, we're going to fill each one of them in with a different pattern. So get out your crayons if you have them. If you have colored pencils or markers, well, you can use those too. And again, in each area, we're going to create a different pattern or design. I'm going to do one real quick for you here. I'm going to do some straight lines on a hill. See my straight lines? Well, that's a little too simple of a pattern. It's just repeating straight lines. So I'm going to do some horizontal lines. I just did vertical. Now I want to do horizontal ones. And I've created another pattern. I like that, but I still think I could add a little more to it. So I'm going to turn it into a checkerboard pattern by coloring every other little section. So I'm going to very quickly do a few of these so you can see what I mean. I would hope you would take your time and color very neatly and fill them in very neatly. If I keep coloring every other square, it's going to end up looking like a checkerboard when I'm done. It gets a little tough when you get down to the bottom edge or the right edge of your paper, so it wouldn't hurt to hold your paper down while you're coloring to make sure it doesn't move or get wrinkled. And when you're finished, it will look like that. Pretty cool, huh? All right, again, we're going to add a different pattern here on this hill, in this bush, on that tree trunk, this one. Everything's going to have its own. And when it's finished, it might look like this one. You see how every shape that we drew and outlined in black has a different pattern in it. I hope you have fun creating your patterns and enjoy making your patterned landscape. Thanks for watching.